The Clockmaker's Gift. In the heart of a quiet village, tucked between cobblestone streets and lampposts that glowed softly at dusk, there was an old clock shop. It belonged to a man named Theo, a master clockmaker who had spent his life repairing and crafting timepieces of every shape and size. His shop was filled with the gentle tick-tock of clocks, a rhythm that seemed to soothe the air itself. Theo was known for his patience and skill, but what set him apart was his ability to mend more than clocks. People came to his shop not just to fix their watches, but to sit in the calm of his presence, to share their worries and hear his quiet wisdom. Theo listened, always with a kind smile, and often said, "A clock, like life, is made of many small parts. It only works when they all come together." One chilly evening, a young woman named Clara entered the shop. Her face was shadowed with worry, and in her hands she held a small broken pocket watch. "It was my grandfather's," she explained, her voice trembling. "It stopped working years ago, and now it feels like I've stopped too." Theo took the watch gently, his experienced hands examining its delicate inner workings. "This is a beautiful piece," he said. "Its gears may be small, but each one has a purpose. Even the tiniest parts carry great importance." Clara watched as Theo worked, his tools moving with precision. "It feels like my life has stopped too," she admitted quietly. "I keep trying to move forward, but nothing seems to fit together anymore." Theo paused, looking up at her with kind eyes. "Do you know what happens to a clock when it's neglected? The gears collect dust, the springs weaken, and it stops. But that doesn't mean it's broken beyond repair. It just needs care, patience, and a little time." Clara thought about his words, feeling a glimmer of hope spark within her. "Can you fix it?" she asked. Theo nodded. "Of course. But I'd like to show you something first." Theo led Clara into his workshop at the back of the shop. It was a cosy space filled with shelves of clock parts, jars of tiny screws, and tools that gleamed under the warm light. In the center of the room stood a large, intricate clock, unlike any Clara had ever seen. "This," Theo said, gesturing to the clock, "is my life's work. It's not finished yet, but every piece has a purpose, just like every moment in life." Clara stepped closer, mesmerized by the delicate gears and sparkling crystals that caught the light. "How do you know where to begin?" she asked. Theo smiled. "I don't always. Sometimes I have to stop and study the pieces, understand how they fit together. It takes time, but every step brings me closer to something beautiful. Life is much the same." Clara felt her shoulders relax as she listened. For the first time in a long while, the weight she carried didn't feel so heavy. As Theo worked on the pocket watch, he shared stories of other clocks he had repaired, each with its own history and challenges. "Every clock tells a story," he said, "and every story has moments of pause, times when the gears seem stuck. But those moments aren't the end, they're just a chance to reset." Clara watched the watch begin to tick again under Theo's skilled hands. "But what if the pieces don't fit back together?" she asked softly. "They always will," Theo replied. "Sometimes it just takes a little creativity. And sometimes you have to make new parts to keep the clock running. But it's worth the effort, because time is precious and every second counts." Clara nodded, feeling the truth of his words settle deep within her. When Theo handed the repaired watch back to Clara, its ticking felt like music to her ears. "It's perfect," she said, her eyes shining with gratitude. Theo smiled. "This watch is a reminder, Clara. It's not just about keeping time, it's about treasuring it. Let it remind you that even when life feels out of sync, you have the power to reset, to mend what feels broken, and to keep moving forward." Clara held the watch close, feeling a sense of calm and purpose she hadn't felt in years. As she left the shop, the cool night air felt softer, the stars above brighter, and her heart lighter. As Clara walked home, she listened to the steady ticking of the watch, its rhythm, a quiet reassurance that time was on her side. She thought of Theo's words and realized that life, like a clock, didn't need to be perfect to work beautifully. As you lie in your bed tonight, think of the clockmaker's gift. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine the gentle ticking of time, each moment a chance to mend and grow. Let the steady rhythm guide you into a peaceful sleep, reminding you that even when life feels paused, you hold the power to reset and move forward.